Your college degree is no longer an investment. It is a rapidly depreciating asset. While you were studying, the market decoupled from the classroom, leaving millions with credentials that lose value faster than the annual inflation rate. The supply of diplomas has grossly outpaced high-skill job creation, meaning your expensive graduation is becoming a massive financial liability. You need to understand the hidden opportunity costs before your 4-year head start turns into a permanent debt trap. And if you don't change your strategy now, you're playing a losing game. I know that sounds harsh, maybe even offensive if you're currently in college or just graduated, but stick with me here because what I'm about to show you isn't some anti-education rant. This is about the cold, hard numbers that nobody wanted you to see when you were signing those loan documents. This is about understanding that the rules changed while you were sitting in lecture halls, and the people who sold you the dream never bothered to update the syllabus. I'm your rich friend, and over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly how we got here, what the data actually shows, and most importantly, what you can do about it right now. Let me paint you a picture of 2026. Right now, this very moment, there are approximately 43 million Americans holding bachelor's degrees. That's a record. Congratulations to us, right? We're the most educated generation in human history. Except here's what they don't tell you at graduation. There are only 14 million jobs in the United States that actually require a bachelor's degree and pay above the median income. Do that math with me. 43 million degree holders competing for 14 million positions. That's a 3-to-1 ratio. But it gets worse. The Bureau of Labor Statistics released data 6 months ago that should have made front-page news everywhere, but it barely registered a blip. Between 2020 and 2026, the number of bachelor's degree holders increased by 18%. You know how much high-skilled job creation increased in that same period? 4%. 4. We're producing graduates at 4.5 times the rate we're producing careers that need them. This isn't a temporary recession thing. This isn't a the economy will bounce back situation. This is structural. The foundation has shifted, and most people are still building on the old blueprint. Let me tell you about Marcus. Real person, changed name for privacy. Marcus graduated in 2024 with a business administration degree from a decent state school. Not Harvard, but respected. He had a 3.6 GPA, did 2 internships, sent out over 300 applications in his first year after graduation. 300. He got 12 interviews, 4 second rounds, 0 offers. Marcus isn't lazy. He isn't unqualified. He's simply drowning in a sea of identical resumes. See, when everyone has a degree, no one has a degree. It's the paradox of credential inflation. The bachelor's degree has become what the high school diploma was in 1960, a basic expectation, not a differentiator. And here's where it connects to your wallet directly. The average cost of a 4-year degree in 2026, including living expenses, is approximately $120,000. The median starting salary for a college graduate is $48,000. Run those numbers through a basic ROI calculator, and you're looking at a payback period that extends well over a decade, assuming you even land a job that requires your degree. Meanwhile, inflation is running at around 3.2% annually. But your degree's market value? It's depreciating at roughly 7 to 9% per year based on wage stagnation data for recent graduates compared to previous cohorts. Your credential is losing purchasing power nearly 3 times faster than the dollar in your pocket. So, what do people do when their bachelor's degree doesn't open doors anymore? They go back to school. They get a master's degree. More debt, more time, and the cycle continues. This is what I call degree saturation, and it's one of the most insidious economic traps of our generation. I want you to look at job postings from 2016 versus job postings from 2026 for the exact same roles. Entry-level marketing coordinator. In 2016, requirements, bachelor's degree, maybe 1 year of experience preferred. In 2026, same exact job, same responsibilities, often lower inflation-adjusted pay, master's degree preferred, 3 to 5 years of experience required. The job didn't change. The credential requirements inflated. This is happening across industries. Entry-level financial analyst positions that once required a bachelor's are now asking for an MBA. HR coordinator roles want a master's in organizational psychology. Even administrative positions at major corporations are starting to list advanced degrees as preferred qualifications. And here's the kicker. Even with the master's degree, you're still not guaranteed anything. I spoke with Jennifer, another real person, who went straight from her undergraduate degree into a master's program because she couldn't find work. She now has $87,000 in student loan debt and works a job that pays $52,000 annually. A job, by the way, that her research showed required only a bachelor's degree when it was posted 5 years ago. Jennifer's situation isn't unique. It's becoming the norm. The master's degree is the new bachelor's, and in about 5 to 7 years, if trends continue, we'll start seeing doctoral requirements for jobs that middle managers do today. But let's talk about what's happening at the very top of the labor market, because this is where the story gets really interesting. While universities are cranking out more credentials than ever, something fascinating started happening around 2021 and has accelerated dramatically by 2026. The companies everyone actually wants to work for stopped caring about degrees. I'm not talking about small startups or fringe tech companies. I'm talking about Google, Apple, IBM, Tesla, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America. These are institutions that built their hiring prestige on recruiting from top-tier universities, and they've systematically removed degree requirements from the majority of their job postings. Goldman Sachs made headlines when they announced they're no longer requiring degrees for roughly 60% of their positions. Instead, they're using real-time skills assessments, portfolio reviews, and project-based interviews. They want to see what you can do, not where you learned to do it. Tesla's engineering division now accepts candidates who can demonstrate competency through GitHub repositories and technical challenges, regardless of educational background. Apple's latest data shows that nearly 40% of their recent hires didn't complete a 4-year degree program. Why is this happening? Because these companies realized something crucial. The university model is too slow for modern markets. Think about it. You enter a 4-year program in 2022, studying what's relevant in 2022. You graduate in 2026 with skills that were designed based on 2022 market needs. But the market in 2026 looks nothing like it did 4 years ago. AI tools that didn't exist when you started college are now industry standard. Programming languages have evolved. Business models have shifted. Consumer behavior has transformed. The university cannot pivot fast enough. Its entire structure, the tenure system, the bureaucratic curriculum approval process, the textbook publishing timeline, it's all designed for stability, not adaptability. And in a market that reinvents itself every 18 to 24 months, stability is a liability. So companies started asking themselves, why are we using a 4-year-old credential to predict current performance? Why don't we just test for current performance directly? And that's exactly what they did. Here's where we need to talk about what actually replaced the university's monopoly, because this is the part that changes everything. Decentralized learning platforms have completely dismantled the idea that knowledge has gatekeepers. You want to learn advanced data analysis? Coursera and DataCamp will teach you the exact same curriculum that MIT charges $60,000 a year, except you'll pay $300 and finish in 3 months instead of 4 years. You want to learn digital marketing? Google offers a certification program that takes 6 months and costs less than $200. Employers recognize it as equivalent to or better than a marketing degree because it's updated quarterly to reflect actual current practices. The Blockchain Academy, Holberton School, these aren't fringe institutions anymore. They're producing job-ready candidates in 6 to 12 months, candidates who often outperform traditional 4-year graduates in technical assessments because they learned what's actually being used right now in industry, not what was being used when the textbook was written. But here's the deeper shift, and this is what I really want you to understand. We've moved from generalist degrees to just-in-time education. The old model said, spend 4 years becoming generally educated in a broad field, then figure out specialization later. The new model says, identify the exact skill the market needs right now, acquire that specific skill in the most efficient way possible, deploy it immediately, then move to the next skill when the market demands it. This isn't about breadth versus depth, it's about speed and relevance. Let me introduce you to David. Real person, changed name for privacy. David graduated from leaving college in 2023 after 2 years. He saw the math wasn't working. Instead, he spent 6 months intensively learning Python and machine learning through online platforms, built 12 projects, put them on GitHub, started contributing to open source projects. Within 8 months of leaving college, he landed a machine learning engineer position in a mid-sized tech company making $78,000. His former classmates who stayed and graduated with computer science degrees, most of them are still interviewing, competing with thousands of other identical credentials, or they've taken jobs paying significantly less because they need to start somewhere. David didn't get lucky. He got strategic. He recognized that the market values demonstrable skills over certified credentials. He built a portfolio of proof, and that portfolio spoke louder than any diploma could. This is what I mean by just-in-time education. David didn't spend 4 years preparing for a job market that might not exist. He identified what employers needed today, learned it quickly, proved he could do it, and got hired. When the market shifts and requires new skills, he'll do the same thing again. The traditional degree program wants you to pay for 4 years of knowledge up front, most of which you'll never use, much of which will be outdated before you graduate. The new model says pay for exactly what you need, exactly when you need it, and prove you can apply it immediately. So if degrees are depreciating assets and the market is moving towards skills-based hiring, what's the actual play here? What should you be doing differently? The answer is this: stop accumulating diplomas and start building proof. In 2026, your personal brand and portfolio of tangible work are worth more than any credential, period. This isn't motivational speak, this is market reality. Let me break down what this actually means. First, your online presence is your new resume. LinkedIn isn't enough anymore. You need a digital footprint that demonstrates expertise. If you're in finance, you should have a Medium blog where you break down market analysis. If you're in marketing, you should have case studies of campaigns you've run, even if they're personal projects. If you're in tech, your GitHub should be active and showcase real problem solving. Employers are Googling you. When they do, they shouldn't just find a LinkedIn profile that lists your degree and says team player. They should find evidence that you know what you're talking about. Articles you've written, projects you've built, problems you've solved, communities you contribute to. Second, network based on value exchange, not credential comparison. The old networking model was go to alumni events, find people from your school, leverage that shared credential to get a foot in the door. The new model is provide value to people who are where you want to be, solve their problems, contribute to their projects. Build relationships based on what you can do, not where you went to school. I know someone who landed a $65,000 consulting gig by spending 3 months contributing high-quality answers on Reddit forums related to supply chain logistics. No degree in the field, just demonstrated expertise, built reputation, got noticed, got hired. That's the new networking. Third, treat your career like a portfolio of bets, not a single ladder to climb. The old model was get degree, get job at good company, climb ladder for 40 years, retire. That ladder is gone. The new model is develop skill 1, monetize it, develop skill 2, create new income stream, develop skill 3, combine them in unique ways. You're not building a career, you're building a portfolio of capabilities that hold value in multiple markets simultaneously. If one market crashes, you have 3 others. If one skill becomes obsolete, you have 4 more. This is how you create economic resilience in an age of rapid change. And fourth, here's the most important piece. Invest in feedback loops, not credentials. Degrees are delayed feedback. You spend 4 years, you get the paper, then you find out if it was worth it. That's a terrible learning model. Instead, test everything quickly. Learn a skill in 3 months. Offer it as a service or build a small project. See if anyone will pay for it. If yes, double down. If no, pivot. You just got market feedback in 3 months instead of 4 years. That's how you stay relevant. Look, I'm not saying education is worthless. I'm saying the 4-year degree as the default path to prosperity is broken. The math doesn't work anymore. The market has moved on. And if you're still playing by 1995 rules in a 2026 game, you're going to lose. Your degree is depreciating faster than inflation because the supply of credentials has exploded while demand for them has stagnated or declined. Employers have found better ways to assess talent. Technology has democratized access to knowledge, and the market rewards speed and proof over prestige and promises. So here's what I want you to do. Stop collecting credentials and start building proof. Stop preparing for the future and start capturing the present. Stop asking for permission to be qualified and start demonstrating that you already are. The opportunity is massive for people who see this shift clearly, but the window is closing for those still clinging to the old model. The question isn't whether you have a degree. The question is, what can you prove you can do right now that someone will pay for today? That's the game, and now you know how to play it. If this has made you question everything you thought you knew about your future, do me a favor, hit subscribe, turn on notifications right now, and share this with someone still betting their life on a depreciating asset. See you in the next video.